Can unfiltered truth stand alone, or does it only find its power when intertwined with empathy and understanding? What if the mirror of honesty reflects not only our truths, but also the compassion in which we deliver them? In this video, I'm going to dive into 7 surprising facts about how and why, in certain scenarios, your instinct to honesty might lead to unforeseen results. The goal isn't to encourage lying or to dissuade you from the truth, but to present a Stoic viewpoint that harmonizes compassion with wisdom and empathy with self-awareness. Come along as we delve into these nuances, question our assumptions, and discover how to identify when our assistance is genuinely beneficial and when it might actually impede both our own development and that of others. But before we do, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell button. Your support goes a long way. In any relationship, whether it's with a friend, partner, or colleague, honesty is like the glue that holds everything together. Imagine honesty as the building block of trust. Without it, the entire structure of your relationship can crumble. When you're honest with someone, you're not just sharing information. You're showing them that they can rely on you, that they can trust your words and actions. Think about it this way. Honesty brings clarity to your interactions. It removes any doubt or uncertainty, allowing both parties to understand where they stand. It creates a safe space where open communication can thrive because you know that the person in front of you is being truthful. But there's another side to honesty. If it's not handled with care or sensitivity, it can sometimes hurt more than help. Picture someone delivering a harsh truth without thought for the other person's feelings. Even though the words are true, they can sound harsh or even cruel, causing damage. Instead of connecting us, this type of honesty can drive us apart and lead to negative outcomes. It's like using a powerful tool without knowing how to handle it properly. The intention might be good, but the result can be broken relationships, hurt feelings, and poor communication. So, while honesty is crucial, it's just as important to mix it with empathy and thoughtfulness, making sure our truths help rather than hurt feelings. One thing I've noticed about brutal honesty is that it can often lead to hurt feelings. Think about it. When someone delivers the truth without any tact or consideration for your emotions, it can hit pretty hard. For instance, imagine if a friend pointed out your flaws or mistakes in a really blunt way. Ouch, right? This kind of honesty, while technically truthful, can cause a lot of emotional distress. People on the receiving end might feel like they're being harshly criticized or demeaned. Worse, it can make them feel inadequate, shaking their sense of self-worth. It's not just a momentary sting either. These feelings can linger, impacting their overall self-esteem and mental well-being. When honesty lacks that touch of empathy, it can really sting, making others feel small or inadequate. So, while being honest is important, it's also crucial to deliver our truths with a bit of empathy and sensitivity. After all, we all have feelings, and taking care to consider them in our interactions can make a big difference. If you appreciate the unique insights shared in this video and want to support the channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button. Moreover, I urge you to watch the entire video. Embrace the opportunity to explore a perspective that could profoundly shift your understanding of life. Trust through supportive feedback. One good way to deliver honesty without causing offense is to practice constructive criticism. By using this approach, you can share the truth in a manner that is considerate and respectful, leading to a more positive and fruitful discussion. To begin, it's essential to kick off with a compliment or a positive note. This sets a supportive atmosphere and reassures the individual that your goal is to assist them in their development, rather than criticize them. You could start by saying something like, "I admire your dedication to your work. It really shines through in your efforts." When addressing a mistake or flaw, it's crucial to be specific and focus on the actions taken, not the person themselves. Instead of bluntly stating, "You always make mistakes in these reports," you could say, "I've noticed some errors in the recent reports. Let's review them together and come up with ways to enhance accuracy." Lastly, it's beneficial to propose a solution or suggest a path forward. Offering actionable steps demonstrates your commitment to aiding their improvement rather than just pointing out errors. For instance, you could suggest, maybe we can introduce a double-check system, or I can share some tips on how I review my work to help you. By framing your feedback constructively, you not only deliver the truth, but also support and encourage the person, reducing the negative impact on their emotions and self-esteem. This approach helps build trust and maintains a healthy, respectful relationship. If you appreciate the unique insights shared in this video and want to support the channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button. Moreover, I urge you to watch the entire video. Embrace the opportunity to explore a perspective that could profoundly shift your understanding of life. Damage to relationships. You know, relationships really flourish when there's a good amount of mutual respect and understanding between people. However, sometimes being too honest can actually be a problem. Imagine a scenario where you're brutally honest with a friend about a decision they've made. Let's say you sharply criticize their choice without much consideration for their feelings. In the moment, you might think you're just being truthful, but to your friend, it can feel like a harsh rejection. Instead of feeling supported, they might start to harbor feelings of resentment and maybe even start distrusting you. This is because your blunt honesty, while perhaps well-intentioned, can come across as insensitivity or a lack of empathy. Over time, if such blunt interactions happen often, they can chip away at the core of your relationship. The foundation of trust and intimacy you've built together starts to weaken. Your friend might become more guarded, less willing to open up, fearing that your honest feedback might once again come as a sharp blow. And once that foundation is shaken, it takes a lot of effort and time to rebuild it. So when you're hit with some tough truths, a solid move is to really tune in and show some empathy. Instead of throwing up those walls right away, take a moment to listen and get where the other person is coming from. Try to see things from their side and let them know you hear them. If you appreciate the unique insights shared in this video and want to support the channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button. Moreover, I urge you to watch the entire video. Embrace the opportunity to explore a perspective that could profoundly shift your understanding of life. By being empathetic and understanding, you're setting the stage for a standing of life, creating defensiveness. When someone hits you with some hard truths, it's like our natural reaction is to throw up those walls and go into defense mode, right? Nobody likes feeling like they're under fire, even if the person giving the feedback means well. That whole protective instinct kicks in and suddenly it's like we're in a showdown. And you know what? When that defensiveness creeps in, it's like trying to have a decent convo becomes mission impossible. Instead of having a chill, open chat, it's easy for things to spiral into a full-blown argument zone. It's like the vibe goes from friendly to WWE SmackDown real quick. So, if we want to keep the peace and actually have a real heart-to-heart, it's all about approaching things with a bit of finesse. Setting the stage for a drama-free talk where everyone feels respected can make all the difference. Let's swap out those swords for some understanding and make sure the dialogue stays on track. It's all about finding that sweet spot between being real and keeping the vibe cool, you know? So when you're hit with some tough truths, a solid move is to really tune in and show some empathy. Instead of throwing up those walls right away, take a moment to listen and get where the other person is coming from. Try to see things from their side and let them know you hear them. By being empathetic and understanding, bedrock of trust that's vital in any relationship. This loss of trust? Yeah, it can put up big walls to real heart-to-heart talks and hold back the growth of those genuine connections we all crave. But here's the silver lining. By championing an atmosphere where honesty is treasured and met with compassion rather than sharp critiques, we can patch up that trust, nurture those one-of-a-kind relationships, and foster conversations that are open, honest, and truly speak to the core of everyone involved. If you appreciate the unique insights shared in this video and want to support the channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button. Moreover, I urge you to watch the entire video. Embrace the opportunity to explore a perspective that could profoundly shift your understanding of life. Social isolation. Trust is like that sweet spot between being genuine and being kind, right? It's that fine line where telling it like it is meets showing a little heart. Imagine this. You've got a buddy who's all about the brutal truth, but forgets to sprinkle in some understanding. It's like they're serving up honesty without a side of empathy, leaving you feeling a bit like, did you even think about how that'd hit me? Now, when we miss out on adding that pinch of empathy to our truth-telling recipe, it's like we're playing Jenga with trust. Take out that crucial piece of understanding, and the whole tower comes crashing down. It's like trying to grow a plant without water. Things just wither away. Now let's throw in social isolation. Picture this. You're stuck in your own bubble, feeling disconnected from everyone else. Kind of like being on an island all by yourself. During times like these, trust can get a bit wobbly. Without those everyday interactions and face-to-face moments, it's easy for misunderstandings to creep in and for trust to start feeling shaky. That's when the importance of empathy and communication really shines. By being extra mindful of how we express our thoughts and feelings, especially in times of social isolation, we can bridge that gap and keep trust strong. It's like sending out little trust-reinforcing messages across the distance, saying, hey, even though we're apart, I still understand and care about where you're at. So remember, when truth and compassion meet empathy, trust blooms even in the most isolated of times. If you appreciate the unique insights shared in this video and want to support the channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button. Moreover, I urge you to watch the entire video. Embrace the opportunity to explore a perspective that could profoundly shift your understanding of life. Social isolation. Individuals known for their brutal honesty may indeed find themselves increasingly isolated. Others may avoid them to escape potential discomfort or hurt feelings. This isolation can result in loneliness and a lack of supportive relationships, which are crucial for emotional health. Whereas on the other hand, if you're one who's notorious for no-holds-barred honesty, having a reputation for always speaking your mind, even if it means delivering some hard truths. Now, while it's admirable to appreciate this kind of straightforwardness, sometimes bluntness can push people away. Others might start avoiding interactions to steer clear of potential uncomfortable moments or feeling hurt by said remarks. So, here's the tricky part. As you continue your brutally honest ways, you might start noticing a shift. You could find yourself spending more time alone, feeling a bit isolated from the social circles you used to be a part of. This sense of loneliness can creep in, leaving you yearning for those supportive relationships that are like emotional lifelines. In essence, striking that balance between being honest and being mindful of others' feelings is so crucial in maintaining strong, healthy connections. It's about finding that sweet spot where authenticity meets empathy, creating a space where relationships can flourish with both truth and understanding at the core. Just like we all need that mix of candor and compassion to thrive in our social interactions and feel truly connected to those around us. If you appreciate the unique insights shared in this video and want to support the channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button. Moreover, I urge you to watch the entire video. Embrace the opportunity to explore a perspective that could profoundly shift your understanding of life. Impact on professional relationships. When it comes to the workplace, being brutally honest can really throw a wrench in things. Sure, giving feedback is important, but when it's dished out without any tact, it can stir up trouble. Picture this. Your coworker gets hit with some overly harsh feedback. It's like a motivation killer, right? Not only does it bring down the vibe among the team, but it can also set the stage for a toxic work atmosphere to creep in. Impact on profession. Picture this. You're at work, minding your own business, and then bam. A colleague hits you with some super blunt feedback. It's like a punch to the gut. Instead of feeling pumped to make things better, you're left feeling kind of down and maybe even a bit defensive. That brutal honesty can really mess with the team dynamic and how you all get along. Now, think about how this plays out over time. As the no-filter feedback keeps coming, the whole office atmosphere starts to sour. Productivity tanks, team morale hits rock bottom, and soon enough, people are eyeing the exit, looking for a workplace where they feel appreciated and not constantly criticized. So, there you have it. This is why finding that balance between being upfront and being kind is crucial. Encouraging open conversations and giving feedback in a positive and respectful way can make all the difference. By creating a work environment where feedback is a tool for growth, not a bummer fest, you not only lift spirits but also set the stage for a happy, productive workplace where everyone feels heard and valued.